Okay, let's start it up. Here we go. We're going to do a quick review. Nun Dalet Amud Aleph, and we are about 2/3 down. First word on line is Tanan Hatam. Okay, so this we did, but let's see this question again, and we'll get into it. Tanan Hatam. It was taught in a Mishnah over there, referring also Ketubot. Hashaliach she'asa shlichuto. Shaliach that does what he's meant to do. He does his shlichut. Baal habayit ma'al, lo asa shlichuto, shaliach ma'al. So this is talking about the laws of me'ilah, where let's say you had money that you donated, you dedicated to the Bet HaMikdash. You can't use that money now. It's Bet HaMikdash money. It's kadosh. If you use it accidentally, it's called me'ilah. So let's say the shaliach, a man gives this guy money and he says, hey, go to the shuk and buy me apples. And he does exactly what he was supposed to do, but the money is from Bet HaMikdash money. So the Avera is on the person that sent him, because the Shaliach did exactly what he was meant to do. If the Shaliach doesn't do the Shlichut, he says, you know what, he doesn't need the apples till later, I want to go buy myself my coffee, and then I'll get money from home, and then I'll go buy him his apples. He switched things, he did things on his own, then the Shaliach used it for himself, and the Shaliach is the one that sinned over here with Me'ilah. So says the Gemara, Man Tana, who's the Tana of, who's the author of that Mishnah? Amar Rav Chizda, Matnitin de Rabbi Akiva. It's not like Rabbi Akiva. The Tanan, let's see, because we saw already in our Mishnah that that Rabbi Akiva, he says, so just to look quickly at the top of our Mishnah, a person says, I'm making a neder from Yerik, from vegetables. So the Tanakama says you're allowed to have Dluim. Rabbi Akiva says Asur. So what was the back and forth over there? The Tanakama says that when a person says, look at your shaliach. When you send your shaliach to get vegetables, right? He says, oh, I couldn't find vegetables, but I found Deluim. I found gourds. So you see, it's not like gourds. Rabbi Akiva says, no, from that exact case, I could see a proof that it is. See, it's not like vegetables. Says Rabbi Akiva, from that exact case, I could say it is like vegetables, because when you send someone to get you vegetables, he's not going to come back and say, oh, there's no vegetables, but there's drinks. There's clothes. It's two different things. When you come back and say, oh, I didn't find vegetables, but I found gourd, that means it's so close to it, it's considered like it. It's like under that category. Rabbi Akiva is going to say it's asur. So now, back to this, and the Gemara is going to say that this Mishnah is not like Rabbi Akiva. The Tanan, 7 lines up at the bottom. The Tanan, Ketzad, what's the case? Amar lo ten basar la orchim, v'natan lahem kaved. So the man tells his shaliach, he tells his person, hey, give the guests meat. And he gives the guests liver. Ten kaved, v'natan lahem basar. Give them liver, and he gives them meat. HaShaliach ma'al. It's the shaliach's fault. It's the shaliach's fault. V'i Rabbi Akiva, if you want to say this is Rabbi Akiva, Ha'amar Rabbi Akiva, hold on a second. Rabbi Akiva is of the opinion, Kol milta de mimlach ale shaliach minehu. Anything that mimlach is that he goes back, anything that the shaliach goes back to tell the guy that sent him, and says, oh, by the way, I didn't have meat, but I brought out liver, so that would be a normal thing to go out for, then it's the same mean, it's the same category. So lim'ol balabait v'lo lim'ol shaliach. So the balabait should be the one that's guilty over here, not the shaliach, because when he told him meat and he brought out kaved, that means this is something that he would have gone back to the mishaliach, one that sent him, and say, hey, I don't have meat, but I'm going to serve liver. That's something that is in that category. So Rabbi Akiva would say it's also asur. But the Mishnah says that the shaliach is guilty, and therefore this Mishnah is not like Rabbi Akiva. Says the Gemara, Amar Abaye, says Abaye, Afilu Tema Rabbi Akiva. You could say this case is Rabbi Akiva. How is this case Rabbi Akiva? Mi lo modeh Rabbi Akiva de tzarich im luche? Doesn't.
Where are we?
Next page now. Just turn the page to Nun Dalet Amud Bet. Turn one more. And then another one. Now we're at the top there. Milo modeh Rabbi Akiva de tzarich im luche. Doesn't Rabbi Akiva agree that you have to go back? Doesn't Rabbi Akiva agree you have to go back? So what's going on over here? Let's look at the run, the top run on the right side. Milo Moder Rabbi Akiva Tzarich Im Luche. Wouldn't Rabbi Akiva agree that you have to go back? Says the Ran, Hilkach. Therefore, Le'inyan Me'ilat Shaliach. This Ran is going to show us there's a difference between Me'ilah and Nedarim. Le'inyan Me'ilat Shaliach. Le'inyan Me'ilat Shaliach. Vadai. Kevan Tzarich Im Luche. V'lo Mamlich. Since when it comes to Me'ilah, and it comes to the Meshaleach, the one that sends him, there's the Shaliach. So the Shaliach, you need, if you go back and you tell him, this is, I'm not giving meat, I'm giving liver. So according to Rabbi Akiva, that means it's the same category. So therefore the Balabait should be the one that violated the Me'ilah. But the case is he just put out the liver on his own without going back and telling him. In the case of the Yerakot, it was, I didn't find the gourds. Right? So here he went out and did it on his own. So that's the shaliach. So says the Ran. Hilkach linyan me'ilat shaliach vaday kevan tzarich im luche velo mamlich. And the guy, since you have to go back and ask the balabait, but he didn't. Adata denafshe kavid. He did it on his own. Shaliach. Ubalabait nami samich dekol kama delo mimlach lo yitin lahem kaved. And the Balabait also, is probably relying, as long as he didn't come and ask me, then he shouldn't give him liver. He didn't come and ask. I told him meat. He's going to give liver. That's his own. He was supposed to come to ask me. Therefore, he did not do what the Mishalech sent him to do. He didn't do it. That's my Me'ilah, and therefore that's why in that case maybe the Shaliach is guilty. It's not in the same category. In Nedarim, Rabbi Akiva was talking about Nedarim. Meaning, the Gemara tried bringing a connection to Me'ilah, where the Gemara is saying no, that Me'ilah and Nedarim is different. In Nedarim, kevan de bichlal lishnehu, since it's included in the lashon, deha mimlich alehem shlicha noder amai samich elavadai bekulu asar nafshe. Deha mimlich alehem shlicha. So, but regarding Nedarim, since it's included in the Lashon, and the Shaliach would go back on it, Shlicha noder amai samich elavadai bekulu asar nafshe. It must be going on, everything is asur. So, the Ran is saying over here that there's a difference between Nedarim and Me'ilah. When it comes to Me'ilah, the person didn't go back to ask, and so that's the Gemara saying the first line. Milo modeh Rabbi Akiva that tzarich. Doesn't Rabbi Akiva agree that you have to go back? So in the case of Me'ilah, he would have to agree that you have to go back and ask. So it's not included in his lashon, and therefore in the case of Me'ilah, the shaliach would be held accountable. But in the case of Nedarim, it's included in the lashon. Basar and kaved is included in the lashon. But regarding the laws of Me'ilah, to violate, you would have to go back and ask. You didn't go back. You did something in your own mind. That's a violation of Me'ilah. Itmar Shemata Kamid Rava. This teaching was told to Rava. Amar Leon Shapir Amar Nachmeni, and he said it's a good thing what Nachmeni said. Nachmeni, not Komeni, but Nachmeni is a nickname for Abaye. It was Abaye that gave this answer. We had a question, right? Me'ilah and Nedarim, and Abaye said that there's a difference. That Me'ilah is different than Nedarim, and that answer is says Rava. That's good. What Nachmeni said. Abaye is called Nachmeni. If you look at the Ran, which is 2, 4, 5 lines down to the thin lines. Amar Lon Shapir Amar Nachmeni. Hainu Abaye. That's Abaye. Vekarile Hachi. And he's called Nachmeni, Nefishinit Gadel Bebayit Rabba Bar Nachmeni. He grew up in the house of Rabba Bar Nachmeni. I mentioned this on the Shabbat that we spoke about the adoption of Shlomo Ben Ayon, the baby. We spoke about children that were didn't live in their parents' homes, Esther, Moshe Rabbeinu, and one is Abaye. And that's really because Abaye's parents died. He was raised by his uncle Rabba Bar Nachmeni. Abaye stands for, what does it stand for again? It's a pasuk. It'll come back to me. The word Abaye stands for like Aviyatomim. Yes, Aviyatomim. Something that has to do with Hashem's taking care of orphans. That's the nickname of Abaye. We say it in our tefillah. Okay, I'll come back to me hopefully. Fine. Can I just take a look at the article?
Nahmani is where he's coming from?
No, that was his name. That was the name of his uncle, Rabba Bar Nachmani. So they called Abaye Nachmani also, because he grew up in that house.
Okay.
Yeah. In the case of Me'ilah, since an agent was required to consult with the homeowner before serving liver instead of regular meat, he failed to do so. He was certainly acting on his own when he served the liver. The homeowner, for his part, initially did not intend to sanction such an act, for he relied on the agent not serving liver without consulting him first. So that's in the case of Me'ilah, therefore the Shaliach is this is number one if you're looking at it. But with regard to our Mishnah's case of Neder, there's no reason to say that the vow did not have in mind every implication that this language would bear. And since an agent sent out to buy greens, vegetables, would consult with his principal regarding the purchase of gourds are also implied in the Neder greens that are in a cooked pot. Hence, it's understandable that Rabbi Akiva prohibits the vower in the Mishnah to eat gourds, while at the same time holding the agent liable in Me'ilah, as per illustration of the Mishnah. Okay, good. Okay, excellent. Gemara continues. We are on the third line down. Man Tana de Paligale de Rabbi Akiva. Who is the Tana that argues on Rabbi Akiva? We said it's a Tana Kama. We didn't put a name to it. Who is it though? Says the Gemara, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. It's Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. Titania, as it says in the Braita. Hanodir mine basar, asur bechol mine basar. Person says, I'm making a neder. I don't want any meat. That includes all types of meat. Ve'asur berosh, asur to eat brains, ve'raglaim, legs, ve'kaneh, the windpipe, ve'kaved, and the liver, ve'lev, heart, ve'ofot, and chicken is included in this. Umutar, vasar dagim ve'chagavim. But you are allowed to eat the flesh of fish and grasshoppers. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer. So that sounds like Rabbi Akiva style. You say basar, everything's included. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, hanodir ben basar, asur bechol min basar, umutar berosh, beraglayim, bekaneh, belev, bekaved, belev, beofot. Then tzarich lomar basar dagim v'chagavim. Meaning, obviously, so that's included also. So Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says meat is meat, meaning steak, that type of meat. But anything that's not a regular meat, you're allowed to have. So head and legs and the windpipe and the liver and the heart and chicken and for sure fish and grasshoppers. So Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, that is seemingly the one, not like Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva, once you say meat, that includes everything. No, meat is meat and everything else is everything else. Chenay Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, kirbayim lav basar. So too Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel would say, the intestines is not meat. Ve'ochlehem lav barinash. And those that eat intestines are not people.
What does it mean?
They're not people.
It's healthy.
Intestines is healthy?
No intestines. Oh, it's intestines.
Kirbayim.
Oh.
It's not healthy,
Not
it's very
garbage.
tasty.
I thought like the heart and kaved and all that.
No,
That's not carbon. Okay.
Kirbayim, the intestine.
Yeah, that is not healthy. That's not.
The kishka.
Yeah.
It's very tasty.
It's tasty. It's healthy. I don't know. So if you have this little aleph here from the Bach, it's lemahil cheta. So what's that over? You're telling us this thing was not a person. They don't say things without a meaning behind it. So what does this mean? He's not a person. It says the Gemara, ochlehem kebasar liinyan zvini lav barinash. So those that eat this type of meat, this intestines, like meat, it's talking about the purchaser. The purchaser is not a person, meaning the purchaser exchanging, like using this money to buy intestines instead of regular meat. That's not it's not what a normal person does. And another explanation is that this type is not. It's not for human consumption. That's what it means. It's not a person means it's because it's not for human consumption, for animals. So yes. Anyways, this is a further proof that Rabban Shimon is saying meat is meat and not anything else. But that's again not like Rabbi Akiva, and that is what we're saying. It's Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel that argues on Rabbi Akiva. Says the Gemara. Ma'ishna basar of the Tanakama de Asir. Why is it according to the Tanakama, which is referring to likelihood Rabbi Akiva, that says that chicken is asur? Why? The avid shlicha de mimlech aleh. Because why is chicken asur? Says the Gemara. Because a shaliach would go back and tell his balabait. And the balabait says, "Go get meat." He would come back and say, "Hey, I didn't find meat. I found chicken." So, same category. Then if you're connecting the two, then it's kind of in the same category. Says the Gemara, "Basar dagim nami avid shlicha." But fish, wouldn't a shaliach also go back and say the same thing? I didn't find meat, but I found fish. That's a common type of thing to say. So shouldn't fish also be asur? If a person didn't find meat, mimlach aleh, he would go back to the balabait. The amar ilo mashkach bisra aiti dagim v'litziru. And he would go back and say, "Hey, I didn't find fish," and therefore make it asur. So now. So therefore, why is according to the Tanakama, why is chicken asur? Because you're going to go back and you're going to say that I didn't find meat. You found chicken. So how about the same thing with fish? I didn't find meat. I found fish. It should be asur. So the Gemara's answer now, we're going to bring two different answers that actually agree that fish should be asur. And you say, I don't want to eat meat anymore. But we're talking about cases where it's for sure not what he meant, because he for sure can't eat fish for whatever reasons. Let's see. Amar Abaye, says Abaye, Kegon, for instance, meaning the case is Sheikis dam de lo achil dagim. Now we're talking about a case where the guy he just did bloodletting. Bloodletting was a thing that they did back in the day. They would literally cut your arm and remove blood, and that the health thing, so that your body can rejuvenate blood. And it was a thing, if everybody knew, don't eat fish after doing that. So says Abaye like this, yes, you're right. When a person says meat, according to Rabbi Akiva, then a shaliach would say, hey, I didn't find meat, I found fish. That means, put that in the same category, it's asur also. But over here, it's for sure not the case, because we're talking about a case where the guy got bloodletting, he's for sure not going to eat fish. So if he says, I never want to eat meat again, after bloodletting, he did not include fish, because he's not going to eat fish now anyways. Says the Gemara, hold on a second. If the case is bloodletting, then also chicken is not good after bloodletting. Damar Shmuel, says Shmuel, the mesukar, which is talking about, as the Ran says, it's bloodletting on the shoulder. The achil bisra de tzafra, if you eat meat of a tzipor, of a bird, parach li bek tzafra, your heart is going to fly away like a bird. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your body. You're not gonna. So you don't eat. So it's a known thing. Don't eat poultry after a kazadam. V'tanya, and it says in the Braita as well. En mekizin lo al dagim v'lo al ofot v'lo al basar maliach. You don't do hakazadam and then eat fish or poultry or salty meat. V'tanya says the Braita. Hikiz dam lo yochal lo chalav. Lo gvina, velo betzim, velo shechlaim. Shechlaim is a type of vegetable. Velo ofot, velo basar maliach. So ofot is included in this. So ofot is included in this, and therefore we want to say over here is that what only fish. When Abaye, you said the case. The case was a guy says I don't want to eat meat. Oh, what's included in that? Things that the shaliach would go back for. Shaliach would go back for chicken. So won't he go back for fish? Says no, we're talking about a case that guy's for sure not going to eat fish because he did hakazadam. Well, he's for sure not going to eat poultry also. Look at all these proofs. Poultry is not a thing to have after. Says the Gemara, 5 lines up on the bottom, shani ofot. Ofot is different. If shara shlika, that you could have poultry after shlika, which is a very long time of cooking. So, where it says that you don't have ofot after hakazadam, after bloodletting, that is talking about regular chicken. But long time cooked chicken, that's okay. So that's why it's chicken that's not and fish. That's why chicken is going to be asur, because when he says I don't want to eat meat, then he probably included chicken as well, this type of chicken. But fish is not included.
Rabbi Akiva is the simplest way.
Exactly.
You don't
No,
do nothing.
Exactly. And actually, we're going to see the halacha is like Rabbi Akiva. And now let's do the next answer. Abaye Amar, 4 lines up from the bottom. Abaye Amar, so the box says Rava Amar. Another answer to why fish is not included. Kegon de kaivin le ene. The case talking about so we're bringing a case, meaning fish is also something that the shaliach would go back for and say, hey, I didn't find meat. Here's some fish. So therefore, if a guy says I don't want to eat meat anymore, maybe that includes fish too. So no, we're not. We're talking about a case for sure the guy's not going to eat fish. Why? Kaivin le ene. The guy is his eyes hurt. The dagim kashim le'enayim, and fish is not good if you have eye issues. So the case with the guy is not going to eat fish for sure because he has eye issues. Says the Gemara, Yachi, if so, achil dagim. Yachi achil dagim. What do you mean? Fish is not good for eye issues. You should eat fish. The Amar Shmuel says it's a beautiful thing. Nun samech ayin, which is the letters of the alphabet in that order. Right? Nun samech ayin. So says Shmuel, why is in the Torah? Why is it nun samech ayin? Nuna sama la'inayim. Nun in Aramaic it means fish. Samach is sama, which means like a potion, like a medicine. Ayin is to the eye. Fish is good for the eyes. Fish is medicine for the eyes. So you know the alphabet, when you say to your grandkids alphabet, nun samach ayin, nun sama la'inayim. Nun, fish, is good for the eyes. So what do you say it's bad for the eyes? It's good for the eyes. Answers the Gemara, hu lesof uchla. No, it's only good for the eyes at the end of the ailment. At the beginning of the sickness, it's not good. But at the end of the sickness, like you're getting over the sickness of the eyes, you want to get over it completely, have some fish, it'll take it out completely. Okay, so...
That's not science, by the way.
It's Gemara. It's even stronger. So what's...
Worth trying.
Yeah. So what's coming out over here in this last case, so we have Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel is not like Rabbi Akiva. And we said, even in the statement of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, it says when you say no meat, but you're including fish. But hold on, fish is something else the shaliach will go back for and say, hey, no, I didn't bring meat, here's some fish. So the Gemara says, we're talking about two special cases why fish is going to be allowed. Because the guy can have fish. Why can't he have fish? He either did bloodletting, or it's at the beginning of his eye issue. He's for sure not going to eat fish. So when he says, I don't want to eat meat anymore, it did not include fish. Let's read the Ran. Nun samechain, siman haya oseh me'otiyot shel alphabeta. A siman he made from the letters of the alphabet. Besof uchla, sof acholi. Ule'inyan halacha. Regarding the halacha, who do we go like? Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel or Rabbi Akiva? Rabbi Akiva is easier, like we said. Kaimalan says that Ran, ke Rabbi Akiva. We're posek Rabbi Akiva. The chomidi dimamlich ale shlicha minehu. Anything that the shaliach goes back and tells his owner, it tells his meshaleach about, it's part of that category. So a guy says, oh, I didn't find meat, I found fish, it's included. I didn't find meat, I found liver, included. Okay. Dehasatam lan, how do we know it's the halacha also? Says the Ran, Dehasatam lan tana perikol basar, Rabbi Akiva. Because in perikol basar, Masechet Chulin, it brings down this thing, but it only brings the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. It doesn't bring the other opinion. So you see over here, it's Rabbi Akiva. Even though we don't know which was first. We don't know if this Gemara Nedarim was first or Chulin was first. Here it brings a machloket. Someone argues on Rabbi Akiva. There it doesn't bring a machloket. Which one's first? Afilu hachi naktina kavate. Nevertheless, we go like Rabbi Akiva. Meaning, if if let's say that one was first in Chulin, it says no one argues with Rabbi Akiva, and then let's say later in history we see there was someone that argued on him. Oh, there's someone that argues. But if this was first, there's an argument with Rabbi Akiva, and then something that was printed that was later in history. There's no one that argues on him. That means that argument it was not accepted. And it's only Rabbi Akiva. We don't know which one was first. So nevertheless, says the Ran, we go like Rabbi Akiva. Why? Chada, for the one reason is the machmir. It's more stringent. And when it comes to Nedarim, Torah, we're more stringent. Another reason, there's an explanation of the Gemara. Demand the Paligal de Rabbi Akiva, Yechida, who? Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Who's the one that argues on Rabbi Akiva? Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel is one person. The Kaimalan halacha ke Rabbi Akiva mechavero. And it doesn't finish the end, velo mechaverav, meaning when there's a machlok in general rules in Gemara learning, when there's a machlok at Rabbi Akiva and chavero, and against one person, like here Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, the halacha is like Rabbi Akiva. But if it's Rabbi Akiva versus chaverav, plural, so it's Rabbi Akiva versus Rabbanan is plural. Or Rabbi Akiva versus Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yossi, whatever, plural, the halacha is like the plural. Here, it's Rabbi Akiva versus Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, 1 verse 1, halacha is like Rabbi Akiva. Hilkach, now the Ran puts it all together for us. Hilkach, therefore, hanoder mina basar. Person says, I don't want to eat meat. Asur bechol mine basar. You're asur in all types of meat. Rosh, kaved, everything. Ube'olfot, ubedagim. You're asur in chicken and fish. Kol shelo yikizdam v'lo kevin le'eneh. As long as, asterisks, as long as you didn't do bloodletting or your eyes don't hurt. But if your bloodletting, your eyes don't hurt, then you for sure didn't include fish, then fish is allowed. But generally, it's going to be included in, when I say no meat, it's included fish and it's included chicken and fish. Mihu, but says the Ran, davka be'atra demim lashlicha alayu. Davka in a place where a shaliach would go back and tell his balabayit, hey, I didn't find meat, but I found fish. Davka in such a situation. But if you know that's a type of place, aval be'atra delomim lichaleh, if it's a place that he would not go back to say that, is go get me meat, and he comes back and there was fish there. He says, "No, sorry, I didn't find meat." Right? And he would not say, "Oh, I didn't find meat, but I brought you fish." What about fish? If he doesn't say that, muktar, it's allowed. Anything that the shaliach does not go back for, it is not in that category. So this also again, the Nedarim, we go to Lashon ben Adam, we go to Lashon of the people at the time, which is a very, very, very important rule in Nedarim. Like, the guy, you said something. Well, what did you say? Well, what's the meaning? The meaning is, what do the people think? What is the normal meaning? So here as well, a guy said, asur meat. So, okay, is that something that a shaliach in this place, in this day and age, would come back and say, why did I didn't find meat? I found fish. Would he do that? So if not, then when you said meat, you meant only meat. But if it's, if you didn't find fish, if I find meat, here's fish, then, fish is included in that, like Rabbi Akiva's explanation, that would be asur. Okay, Chazaku Baruch, a little shorter today. And I'll give you some time to rest up at home a little more. And and we will continue on Sunday.
Sorry.
Chazak u'baruch.